There's something going on in my Catholic world today, something troubling. I'm indirectly referring to the scandals in the news, but I wish to directly call your attention to a problem in the church that is as old as the church herself. Most astute readers of the Bible know that when Luther translated Romans 3:28, he wrote, Allein durch den Glauben, or by faith alone. A person is justified by faith alone. And if you consider this sin of adding to Scripture with his attempt to remove Hebrews, James, Jude, and Revelation from the New Testament, you get a good insight into the divisiveness sown by a man struggling with his faith. We'll leave aside the sin of removing Tobit, Judith, Wisdom, Sirach, Baruch, and 1st and 2nd Maccabees. Let's focus a minute on the letter of St. James, especially the 2nd chapter. Are we not dealing with a very important pastoral issue today that is hauntingly similar to what St. James was dealing with back in the 1st century? Can it be that today's situation is hauntingly similar to the explosive power that split Christianity into 1 million pieces, or at least 30,000 pieces, or whatever the number of denominations there are today? St. James must have been dealing with early Christians who thought having faith in Jesus was all that mattered. Faith in such a way that must have left out what St. James calls works. Then, 1500 years later, along comes the Augustinian monk who calls St. James's letter an epistle of straw. You know the debate. Protestants accuse Catholics of works justification, and Catholics accuse Protestants of cheap grace. So this is the context of a major eye-opening realization I wish to share with you. I find it is necessary to make a stark connection between the Apostle St. James, the mistakes of the 16th century, and a dangerously similar mistake we as a church are making today. I'm sure you have heard it said that to get people back into church, or to get them to church in the first place, you must first get someone to have a personal relationship with Jesus. Everyone is saying it. Now I know these good people don't mean to, but when James 2:14 is taken seriously, we cannot help but draw the conclusion that the people St. James was talking to, the folks he felt compelled to correct, would be singing the personal relationship with Jesus refrain. These people would be telling St. James to get with it. This is exactly what faith means. It's a relationship with Jesus. It doesn't mean being nice. It doesn't mean good deeds. It's all about faith, which means it's all about a relationship with Jesus. Works and morality don't save you. So what's the point? Well, if St. James felt compelled to correct the folks he was correcting, and St. Charles Borromeo felt compelled to tell Martin Luther, you can't say faith doesn't include works. It's time to tell anyone involved in modern evangelization something similar. It's time to see this haunting similarity. St. James said, show me your faith without works, and I will show you my works from my faith. Isn't it a similar error to say it's your relationship with Jesus that saves you? Being a morally good person doesn't save you. But what does the Bible teach through St. James's epistle? If we update the terminology, we get, indeed, someone may say, you have a relationship with Jesus and I have morality. Show me your relationship with Jesus without morality, and I will show you my relationship with Jesus from my morality. My point here is not to denigrate the idea of a relationship with Jesus. It is a beautiful idea. And it's beautiful because it's not simply an idea at all. It's a friendship. And it's a friendship with the best person in the world. Or maybe I should say the best person out of this world. Of course, friendship can be considered an idea, but friendship can also be considered a reality that's more than an idea. The same way a real dog is more than an idea of a dog. And people can have deep friendships, even if they couldn't articulate any ideas about it. In the same way, a person can have a relationship with Jesus, even if they couldn't articulate any ideas about that relationship with Jesus. So I don't want to denigrate the importance of a relationship with Jesus at all. What I want to do is issue a warning about saying you have a relationship with Jesus while denigrating the importance of being good. This is very similar to St. James's warning to his friends about proclaiming their faith while neglecting good works. It's inconceivable to explain St. James's words in his second chapter without such a focus on this bond between faith, or a relationship with Jesus, and works, or principles of morality. Let me repeat, my point is not to denigrate a relationship with Jesus. It's to elevate our moral obligations and to declare, echoing St. James, you can't have one without the other. So this bond between our relationship with God and our being good is a kind of marriage. It's something that God put together, and we are not to put asunder. Let me stop here. In part 2, I'd like to continue this topic and talk more about the unbreakable bond between faith and works. Don't forget to subscribe to Unlike Other Nations. God bless you.